Here is a demonstration of an experiment titled Single Cantilever. The aim of the experiment is to determine the Young's modulus of the given material of the metallic strip. So all of you all have heard of the three moduli which we come across in elasticity, that is Young's modulus, rigidity modulus and bulk modulus. Young's modulus is the ratio of longitudinal stress to longitudinal strain. That is what we are finding out in this experiment. The apparatus required is a thick rectangular metallic strip that is playing the role of a cantilever, slotted weights with hanger, traveling microscope, screw gauge, vernier calipers and meter scale. The formula that is used to calculate the Young's modulus is as shown, which is given by 4 mg L cube by BD cubed into delta mean, where m is the mass for which the depression is produced, L is the length of the cantilever in centimeters, D is the thickness of the cantilever in millimeters, delta is the depression for 40 grams in centimeters, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. So how a cantilever looks is as shown. We have a wooden block which supports, and we have a metallic strip which is fixed to the wooden block, and the other end, the free end of it, we have suspended a weight hanger, and the top part of it we have a needle that is being placed there. Now what we do is we add or we introduce the load into the weight hanger in uniform steps of 10 grams. So once we add load, what happens? The beam slightly bends. So how do we know the change in position is? The reference for us will be the needle. So every time we focus the tip of the needle using the traveling microscope. And once we focus, we record the values from the traveling microscope, which is the main scale reading MSR and the coinciding vernier division. Then first we do it for the empty pan, that is, it is called as the dead load. We have not introduced any load to the weight hanger. Next reading will be by adding 10 grams to the weight hanger. Similarly, you add 20, 30 and record the values of MSR and CVD, reach up to a maximum of 70 grams and tabulate the values in table 1, which is traveling microscope readings for load increasing. In a similar way, we start decreasing the load in steps of 10 grams. So for W plus 70, transfer the value which you have recorded in the load increasing table, and from W plus 60 onwards, take the fresh readings, the readings which you are getting on the traveling microscope, that is the MSR and CVD. Decrease the load in steps of 10 grams and reach till the empty pan, which we have called it as the dead load. Now what we do in table 3 is we tabulate the values of table 1 and table 2, or we rearrange the values in table 3, and what it says is, besides load increasing, you need to write load increasing for that particular load. For example, W. For W plus 10, same way, load increasing, load decreasing. Then you find the mean value, and similarly towards the other side, W plus 40, 50, 60 and 70. Find the mean value, and the depression will be the difference of the two mean values. Depression is the difference of the two mean values. And if you have performed the experiment or recorded the readings correctly, then the 4 depression values which you get in the last column of table 3 will almost be the same. They will be consistent. Then you take the average of the consistent values, which determines the mean depression for a load of 40 grams. How did we get 40? The difference of W and W plus 40 is 40. W plus 10, difference of W plus 50 is 40 grams. So what we are determining is the mean depression for a load of 40 grams. Now, the next part of it is we need to find the length of the cantilever. A meter scale is given to you. So, from where do we measure is? From the fixed end of the cantilever to the to the weight hanger. Till there gives you the length of the cantilever. Next, we need to find the breadth of the cantilever using vernier calipers. At 4 different places, you need to position the vernier calipers and find the main scale reading and the coinciding vernier scale division. Then find the mean breadth. After that, we need to find the thickness of the cantilever using screw gauge. Here again you place the screw gauge at 4 different positions and find out PSR, that is the pitch scale reading, and the head scale division, that is the HSD, and find the total reading. After this you need to substitute the values and calculate. Now we will go to the discussion of how we have to make measurements using slide caliper, screw gauge and travelling microscope. Now we will discuss about how we use the measuring instruments, that is the vernier calipers, the screw gauge and the travelling microscope. So vernier calipers consists of two scales, the main scale and the additional scale called as the vernier scale. So once the instrument is given to you, we are supposed to determine the least count of the instrument. So what do you mean by least count? It is the minimum or the smallest measurement that can be performed using the instrument, and it is given by the ratio of the value of one main scale division to the total number of vernier scale divisions. So if you observe the vernier calipers, for every centimeter there are 10 divisions. So the value of one main scale division is 1 by 10 of a centimeter, which is 0.1 centimeter. And the total number of vernier scale divisions is 10. Therefore, the least count of the vernier calipers is 0.1 divided by 10, which is 0.01 centimeter. For example, suppose you are measuring the breadth of the cantilever, and when you place the cantilever between the two jaws, you get the value of MSR, that is, say for example, you get it as 1 centimeter. And there is one among the 10 divisions of the vernier will coincide exactly with the main scale, which we designate as the coinciding vernier division. Say for example, you get 6. Then the total reading will be MSR plus CVD into least count, which is equal to 1.06 centimeters after substitution. So this is about vernier calipers. Next measuring instrument is the screw gauge, wherein you find the thickness of the cantilever. So a screw gauge has two scales. One is called as the pitch scale and the other is called as the vernier scale. So once the instrument is given to you, first you are supposed to find the least count, which is the ratio of pitch to the total number of head scale divisions. Now, how do you find the pitch? Pitch is nothing but the distance moved on the pitch scale to the total number of rotations given to the head scale. Usually, the pitch of any instrument is 1 mm, because if you move it, if you apply one complete rotation, there is a variation of 1 mm on the pitch scale, or you apply 5 complete rotations, then there is a distance movement of 5 mm on the pitch scale. So normally the pitch of an instrument is 1 mm. So the least count is pitch divided by total number of head scale divisions. So 1 divided by 100, which is 0.01 mm. This is related to least count. Apart from least count, you need to find the zero error in the instrument. So when the zero of the pitch scale and the zero of the head scale coincide, then the error is 0. This is a very rare case. So that is shown in the figure labeled A. Now coming to B and C. If you observe in figure B, we see that the zero of the head doesn't coincide with the zero of the pitch, but what is coinciding? The second division is coinciding. So if the pitch line is in the positive side of the head scale, then the error is positive. So the error of in the case B is +2. Now coming to C, the figure C, if we observe that the 96th division of the head scale coincides with the zero of the pitch scale. So if the pitch line is in the negative side of the head scale, then the zero error is negative. Next, when you're finding the thickness, you need to find the total reading. The total reading is the pitch scale reading plus the head scale division minus 0 error into the least count. This gives us the thickness of the cantilever using the screw gauge. The next important instrument which we are using for measurement is the travelling microscope, wherein the scale is very much similar to that of vernier calipers. That is, it has a main scale and a vernier scale. So this is the main scale and this is the vernier scale. Now only the graduations on the main scale and the vernier scale are different compared to that of vernier calipers. So what is the differences? On the main scale of a travelling microscope, for every 1 centimeter, there are 20 divisions. So the value of each division is 1 by 20 of a centimeter, which is 0.05 centimeter. And the number of graduations or divisions on the vernier scale is 50. There it was 10. So the least count is 0.05 centimeter divided by 50, which is equal to 0.001 centimeter. That is the least count of travelling microscope. Suppose while measuring, you get MSR as 1.05 centimeter, coinciding vernier division as 19, then the total reading after substitution, you get it as 1.069 centimeters. Next, I just want to give a brief introduction of the parts of the travelling microscope. So most of you all are aware of it. It has an objective lens and the eyepiece, and you can vary the distance of the objective lens from the object using the knob for focusing, which is also called the rack and pinion adjustment. And we have two scales. One is the vertical scale and the other is the horizontal scale. The graduations on both the scales is the same. The screw which is used for vertical is the screw for fine position of the vertical, which is shown, and on the other side, that is on the bottom, we have the screw for fine position of the horizontal scale. Now the next part is the focusing of the object using the travelling microscope.
I have shown you in the diagram, this is the single cantilever. The beam which is fixed at one end and the other end is let free. This is the weight hanger wherein you are introducing the load and you are studying the depression. Now, which is the object that is showing you the level of depression will be the needle. So, we are focusing the tip of the needle using the travelling microscope. So, all of you all are familiar with the travelling microscope. So, I will just briefly explain the parts of the travelling microscope. You have the objective lens. This is the objective lens. This is the eyepiece and this is the rack and pinion adjustment, wherein you can vary the distance between the object and the objective lens. Now, this is the vertical screw wherein you can move or vary the travelling microscope. You can operate the travelling microscope vertically. So this is the fine adjustment of the vertical screw, and this is for large variations. Suppose you want to vary it to a large extent, this is the screw for vertical adjustment. Coming to the horizontal part of the travelling microscope, this is the fine adjustment of the horizontal screw for the horizontal scale, and this is the screw which is used for large variation of the horizontal part, horizontal adjustment of the travelling microscope. Now we need to focus the object. So which is the object? The object is the needle, and you need to focus the tip of the needle. So the first initial adjustment is that you release the objective lens using the rack and pinion adjustment. Take the objective lens as close as possible to the object. See that the objective lens doesn't touch the object. Now, seeing through the eyepiece, slowly adjust. Vary the distance between the object and the objective lens as I am doing by using the rack and pinion adjustment. Looks. Schematically, I have shown my observation through the eyepiece in this particular form. So the eyepiece has the vertical cross wire and the horizontal cross wire, and this is how I have got the image of the inverted needle that is the object, inverted image of the needle. Now I need to get the needle such that it coincides with the horizontal cross wire. So this is how it looks. So which screw I must operate? I need to operate the vertical fine adjustment of the travelling microscope. So you can observe that I am operating with my right hand, and slowly the image is moving upwards and it has come aligned itself onto the horizontal cross wire. So this is how you focus the tip of the needle, and the focusing what you have done is for the dead load, that is empty pan. We have not introduced any load. Now you need to record. What are you supposed to record? The main scale value and the vernier scale value, which I have already explained. So I will just read the reading and tell you how to find out the total reading. So using a reading lens, you can just check where the zero of the vernier lies. Now the zero of the vernier. Now our first job is done, that is focusing the tip of the needle, wherein we got an inverted image of the needle. Now we need to record the readings from the travelling microscope, that is the vertical scale of the travelling microscope. Now first we need to record the MSR and CVD. So using a reading lens, we record the reading in this particular way. Adjust the reading lens such that you get a magnified image of the scale. Now your reading lies between, the zero of the vernier lies between 4.5 and 4.55. So which reading we will take? We will always take the lower value. So the MSR is 4.50 centimeter. Now one division will exactly coincide with that of the main scale, one division of the vernier. So which is the division that is exactly coinciding here? It is the 21st division. So enter the 21st division, write 21 in CVD. So all these entries you are making in table 1 for dead load increasing. So 4.50. So you find out the total reading, which is 4.50 plus 21 into the least count, which we have already determined as 0.001 centimeter. So your total reading is 4.521 centimeter. So in this fashion, now you introduce a load of 10 grams. So when 10 grams is introduced, there is a change in position of the needle. Now operating the vertical screw, you adjust the tip of the needle such that it coincides with the horizontal cross wire. Then again write down MSR and CVD. In the same fashion, you keep introducing the loads in uniform steps and reach up to W plus 70. So you have completed the job of table 1, that is recording the readings of load increasing. Now coming to this table 2, that is readings of load decreasing. So in steps of 10 grams, you start reducing the load. So for W plus 70, copy down the same value which you have got in load increasing to load decreasing table. Then record for W plus 60 up to W, that is the dead load, in this table, that is table 2. Once this is done, you need to tabulate the values of total reading of load increasing and load decreasing in table 3 and find the mean value of load increasing and load decreasing for the respective loads. Now once that is done, you need to find the depression. So depression is the difference of the two mean values. Please remember, depression is the difference of the two mean values. For what load? If you subtract W, or if you take the difference of W and W plus 40, you get 40 grams. W plus 10 difference of W plus 50, you get 40 grams. So you are finding out the depression for 40 grams. and if you have performed the experiment correctly, you will get all the 4 values consistent in the last column of table 3. Take that average value which determines the mean depression for 40 grams. Now coming to table 4. So what are our next part of the experiment is to find the width of the cantilever using slide calipers. So this is the slide calipers which most of you all have used. So you have the main scale and the vernier scale. See that the cantilever is between the 2 jaws of the slide calipers. So once you feel it is locked, you can use a reading lens and find out the MSR value and the CVD. So in this case, the 0 of the vernier lies between 2.8 and 2.9 and the coinciding vernier division is 4. So the main scale reading is 2.4 and your CVD is 4. So total reading when you substitute and multiply with the least count, you get it as 2.44 centimeters. That is at one particular position. Similarly, you do it at 3 more positions at varying places. So this is how we find the breadth of the cantilever. The next part of the experiment is you need to find the thickness of the cantilever. A screw gauge is given to find the thickness. You have 2 scales. One is the pitch scale and the one which is rotating is the head scale. Now you place it at different places of the cantilever. First at one particular position, lock it. You get a feeble sound. So that says that your screw gauge is locked. At this position, record the values of PSR and HSD. So the PSR value is 0 here. So enter it in table 5, 0, and coinciding head scale division was 88. So your total reading when multiplied with least count becomes 0.88. In this instrument there was no 0 error, hence I have not subtracted it with the 0 error. So this is how you do it. Similarly, you do it at varying positions, at 3 other varying positions, and tabulate it in table 5 and find the mean thickness by taking the average of the values.